welcome to you. I'm Hayley Palmer. It's so good to have you here on tonight's show, especially as we have such a special guest for you. Oh yes, we are joined by Chris De Burgh, and we'll be catching up with him after this.
A spaceman came travelling on his ship.
Chris, it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
Hi Hayley, I'm very well, thank you. I'm talking to you from my memorabilia room here in Enniskerry in the beautiful hills of Wicklow in Ireland.
Oh, wow, just fabulous. And I'm loving that room there, and hopefully we can have a little bit more of a sneaky peek later on in the show. But I've been watching you over lockdown, Chris, and you did some great work on Facebook. You kept us all really motivated. I mean, it's obviously been tough for everyone, and obviously we're just sort of coming out now. But how are those Facebooks for you?
Well, I don't think I'm any different from anybody else, to be perfectly honest. I do have a nice place to live. I think for most people, we've been going through sort of low-level anxiety and depression. However, I'm a very positive person, and I've tried to keep myself motivated. And I actually finished recording my new album, The Legend of Robin Hood, on the 12th of March last year, doing all the vocals here. We did the recording in Peter Gabriel's studio near Bath. And on the 13th came the lockdown, and then I really have spent the rest of the year doing other projects, looking after things, and a couple of interesting things happened. Well, I wrote a long-form story, an audible story, for my to accompany my album, which I narrated as well as did all the funny voices. But the more important thing was that I became a grandfather for 3 children.
Oh, that's fabulous news, Chris. Congratulations.
Well, I had very little to do with it, obviously, but my daughter, well publicised problems that she had getting pregnant. For her husband and herself had to suffer through 15 miscarriages, not just one. Can you imagine? 15. And however, in April or May last year, she called to say not only was she pregnant and 2 little heartbeats had been detected, but they were twins, and they were identical twins. And this has been an absolutely marvellous, miraculous thing, because she was told by doctors she would never carry her own child. However, Hugo and Oscar come round to our house every weekend with their elder sister, Sophia, who was born by surrogacy. Great story.
Oh, I bet that's been life-changing for you all. That is such a lovely story. That's wonderful to hear, Chris. Yeah. Well, we're going to go into the first song on the show, of course, Lady in Red. And Pete would like to know, well, it's such a worldwide phenomenon. How many countries did you have to go to promote it? And what were the most interesting responses?
Oh, that's an interesting question, Hayley. But the song kind of took off on its own. I know that it was like #1 in nearly 40 countries. And it's still a massive song. Some countries like America, they wouldn't have a clue who Chris De Burgh is, but they know Lady in Red because it's been on all the primetime TV shows and stuff, and in movies. But I go to Russia a lot, not just because of that song. I've written and recorded 300 or more songs and 25 albums, so there's a lot of stuff that I can actually perform. But Lady in Red just has its, as it were, legs of her own. And she keeps on going.
Absolutely, It really does. And the single led to huge sales for the album Into the Light, charting top 5 in many countries. Were you surprised at how big the album became?
I was delighted because obviously, I've been at this game a very long time. And my first album, Far Beyond These Castle Walls, came out in 1974. And somewhere I've got a gold record in this room for that one. It was a big hit in South America. And then the second one, Spanish Train and Other Stories, became a mega hit right across Canada, a multi-platinum, and then South Africa, that kind of thing. And really, by the time The Lady in Red came up, I'd already had hits with Don't Pay the Ferryman and High on Emotion in a lot of European and North American countries. And so Lady in Red was the kind of icing on the cake. And she still carries on. And since then, I've made multiple albums. But she's the kind of calling card.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we can't wait to play it out on the show. Enjoy, everyone, and we'll see you on the other side. We've got some questions from some of our lovely viewers, Chris. Angela would like to know, what's the most lovely gift that you've had from a fan?
Whoa. Well, there's so many different kinds, flowers, for example. I'm often given flowers. The first time I performed in Moscow, there was lines of ladies bringing flowers up to the stage, which then we take and we take to give to a children's hospital, for example. Or if there's just a few bunches, I always go to a restaurant right after the concert and give them to the first pretty lady I see, whatever. But there are people who, they know that I'm a wine collector, and I have a great interest in wines from all over the world, and I've been collecting them for 40 years. And some people have brought up extraordinarily good wines. I mean, real top-end wines and champagne. And but any gift is a wonderful gift, and I'm very happy to receive them. It's an appreciation of what I've done. Music takes you through life. It's the soundtrack of your life. And,
it really does.
And music, the songs that I've written for trying to think of how many years now. We're into oh my God, I'm in my 5th decade, or possibly longer. But 25 albums, did I say? So there's a lot of music that people bring through their lives.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Music is real medicine. And I found that particularly in lockdown, I just wanted to listen to music and it made me feel good. So we really do appreciate everything, Chris. Now, Ronan would like to know, The Spanish Train is a genuine classic. How did you come up with the concept?
1974, Ronan. I was recording my first album, and during the summer, my producer, Robin Jeffrey Cable, unfortunately deceased, and his wife Tina, who was from Portugal, they went on a 3-week holiday and said, would I like to join them? So they said, you can stay with us. In fact, when I got down to their place in La Linea, which is just on the border of Portugal and Spain, the accommodation was very unattractive. It was just a big room, cement floor. So then I took a train next day, and I went up, and there were two compartment things, and we went up, and I don't know what I must have been on, but I glanced up to my right, and there was these bits of wood, gnarled bits of wood that a farmer had put up to the field as a fence, and they looked like skeletons dancing. And then I suddenly imagined maybe the driver of the train was a skeleton, and they were gambling for the souls of the dead. So I immediately took out a book that I had with me. I wrote down the first words: there's a Spanish train that runs between Guadalquivir and old Seville. At dead of night the whistle blows and people hear she's running still. And as you say, it's become a classic. It's amazing. Just a good story.
It really has. And I mean, and the production of the album is incredible. How did you pull it together? Because, there's been so many brilliant performers, engineers, producers working on it.
Well, it was mainly me and Robin, and we obviously had technical operators and so on, but he was a very good operator himself on the keyboard, on the desk, sound desk. So he and I really, it was a fun record to make together. And if we wanted, for example, on Spanish Train, a bit of Spanish guitar, I'd put some like that, or castanets, all that kind of stuff. So just to illustrate the song.
Well, I hope that's answered your question, Ronan. And Kim would like to know, what are your hobbies aside from the music industry?
You know what? I'm very interested in so many different things. Occasionally I play golf, not much recently because the golf courses have been shut. But on a daily basis, I'm just very busy. And sometimes I haven't touched a guitar for weeks, and then I pick one up and that hurts. And I did actually, my very first concert in 595 days I did in Mallorca on last Friday. And I feel so sorry for all the other people in my industry, thousands and thousands of people who can't work. It's like being a top surgeon, or if you're a chef and you're suddenly told by the government, you're not allowed to do that anymore. Stop until we tell you can start again. So it's been difficult. But to be honest, I live in a big house here and in the hills of Wicklow, and it's just, there's always stuff every day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope that's answered that for you, Kim. And we're going to go into the next song, High on Emotion, a real good rock anthem and feel-good song. What sort of response do you get this when you play to your audience?
They go crazy. This is at the end of the night, and they dance, and sometimes we've had to do it twice because the audience, like in Quebec City, where it was a major record, and in France it was a #1 record, and people still remember it, and they sing. I get them to sing, I am high. I get them to sing the high bits. Luckily my voice is still very good shape, so I can hit those notes, but this is a real dance song. Yeah,
we want this here on the show tonight. Everyone off your sofas, singing full blast, enjoy from 1984, High on Emotion.
Hi, I'm Chris De Burgh, and this is my song, Everywhere I Go. Enjoy.
Everywhere I go, everywhere I I go, I see an image of her face. She talks to me. She talks to me in 1,000 ways. Everyone I know, everyone I know is calling on the telephone. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you alright? 'Cause you're never at home. Well, I couldn't be better. I found my way. She is an open door to a brand new day. Everywhere I go, I see her face again. Everywhere I look, I see her smile and wave. Everywhere I hear her voice is calling. This time I finally open my eyes to a beautiful angel. Oh, who's been caring for me like a mother for a child. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I see the shadow of a light. It shines on me. It shines on me. It shines on me from another time. So many dark days and lonely nights until she found a way to change my life. Everywhere I go, I see her face again. Everywhere I look, I see her smile and wave. Everywhere I hear her voice is calling. This time I finally open my eyes. Everywhere I go, I see everywhere I go. Everywhere I look, I see everywhere I look. Everywhere I hear her voice is calling. This time I finally open my eyes to my beautiful angel. Oh, who's been caring for me like a mother for her child. Everywhere I go. This time I finally open my eyes. Everywhere I go.
Now, really exciting, Chris. I know you've got a new album out, The Legend of Robin Hood, which is out 10th of September. What can we expect from this?
Well, the album started because I was asked by a group of people who've already put on 8 successful musicals in a small, lovely little town in Germany, a place I go to a great deal to perform, it's called Fulda. And they knew that I had a great interest in medieval history, that I had an ancestor, Hubert de Burgh, who was the chief lawmaker to King Richard the Lionheart and King John, and he featured in a play by William Shakespeare. And I'd had an album called Crusader, and so on. And I was also brought up in a 12th century castle. So they asked me if I'd be involved, and so I wrote 8 songs for this musical, which has been deferred from the year before last to this year, and this coming out next year anyway. And having written 8 songs for it, I thought, why not do an entire album? So I've written 22 songs, and 22 songs which a lot of them are performed by a storyteller and his group, and it's a kind of narration thing. So I want you to imagine that you're in a tavern in the 18th century, the candles flickering and stuff, and these people stand up on the stage and they tell the story of Robin Hood.
Wow. Love that. And I know one of your songs from your album is your new single, Live Life, Live Well. Now, when I watched and listened to this, Chris, I just thought it's got such a great message. It's very uplifting and exactly what we need after what everyone's been, through lockdowns.
Yeah. Well, I actually wrote it before lockdown, and I have no idea why I actually wrote it. So I have a guitar here, and I can give you a little hint of what happened. The first thing I went, I am looking for me, said a man that I know. I don't know where to begin. I see in the mirror that there's somebody there, but I am not sure if it's me or it's him. But don't worry, everything will be fine when you just live life, live well. Take your time, look after yourself, give love, give well. The only way to get there is to start by loving yourself. So that idea just came out, a lot of the words came out all at the same time. Yeah. And looking back, I can figure out probably where the ideas, little strands, like putting together a tapestry, came from. But it works very well from the time in the Robert Hood story where he comes back from war and, like so many young men, traumatized by what he's seen and done. So that's him trying to, come back to himself.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think it's just a wonderful song, and we are actually going to check out the video to Live Life, Live Well. Like we said, it's out now, and you're really going to like this. You're in for a treat. Enjoy.
I am looking for me, said a man that I know. I don't know.
Hi, I'm Chris De Burgh, and here's my song, There Goes My Heart Again.
There goes my heart again, lost in the dark again. One touch, a crowded room, the whisper of her name. How could a simple kiss turn me upside down like this? There goes my heart again, I'm losing it over you. So many people say, don't lose your heart again. But look, what could I do when lightning strikes this way? She took me by surprise with something special in her eyes. There goes my heart again, I'm losing it over you. I've done my time in the prison of love. And just when they let me out, I'm back inside again. Upside down like this. There goes my heart again, I'm losing it over you. I've done my time in the prison of love. And just when they let me out, I'm back inside again. So throw away the key. This is where I want to be. There's no need to escape, 'cause she's in here with me. If this is doing time, well, my friends, I'm doing fine. There goes my heart again, I'm losing it over you. There goes my heart again, I'm losing it over you. There goes my heart again, I'm losing it over you. There goes my heart again, and I'm losing it over
Now, Chris, rewinding back, you were born in Argentina. Your father was a diplomat. Your grandfather was chief of general staff in India in World War II. You lived in Malta, Nigeria and Zaire. And then your family moved to an 18th century castle in Ireland. An amazing background. This must have inspired you with your epic and romantic storytelling in songs, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think when we moved into the castle, which is actually from the 12th century, 800 years old, we moved in when I was 12, and there was no furniture, no water, no heat, no light. But for a 12-year-old boy, it was actually very exciting and thrilling. And during the summer months, subsequently, 2 or 3 years later, we started a small family hotel. And that is when young Christopher... me, got a guitar. I have one right here. And I used to entertain the guests because at night there was very little going on. And, there was no internet, no TV. And so by the time I stood on a professional stage, I'd done hundreds and hundreds of living room concerts. And I can tell you, Hayley, singing for 12 people is a lot harder than 120,000, which I've done.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what a wonderful story. And we're going to go into the next song, Don't Pay the Ferryman, which is one of your most played songs on the radio. Now, we've got a question here from Beth, who says, is it true that Buffy the Vampire, Anthony Head, spoke the narration on the song?
Absolutely. During the song, which is... oh, it's like a movie in my head. I can see the horseman coming at high speed with the light behind him, the moon scudding along, and the camera following him. Then he comes to the edge of a cliff, and the horse whizzes up and looks down, and there down below is Charon the boatman waiting with his stick to move across the river, then take the souls of the dead. They put pennies on, allegedly. And the question is interesting, Beth. The whole point of the song is to create something extraordinary, and during it I wanted to have Anthony Head narrating part of Shakespeare's The Tempest. We were dead of sleep, and he has got this great voice, and I wanted it to be slightly difficult to hear, and people would have to be straining, all horrible, and all this kind of stuff. So that was him.
Wow, there we go, Bev. It's your question answered. Fabulous. We're going to play out the song now from 1982. Enjoy. Oh, Chris, then we've come to the end of the show, and we're going to play out Sailing the Way for all our viewers. But we want to remind everyone to check out your new album, The Legend of Robin Hood, on the 10th of September, that's out. And your new single, Live Life, Live Well, that is out now. But Chris, thank you so much. It's been such an honour and pleasure to have you here on the show.
Hayley, you're a lovely lady, and thank you for making me feel so comfortable on your show. And I know a lot of people admire your show enormously, and I hope they enjoy my particular contribution here this evening.
Oh, no, honestly, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much. It's Chris De Burgh, everyone.
Waiting at the water's edge, watching all the ships as they are heading for the harbour wall. I was just a boy, I was just a boy, dreaming of a wide world, dreaming of a wide world. Watching as they disappear, reading out the names of all the places I have never been, looking out to sea, staring out to sea, dreaming of a wide world, dreaming of the wide world. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. I wish I was sailing away, sailing away, sailing away with you tonight, with you tonight, yeah. another street. Underneath the red lights, I am watching where the shadows fall.
Huge thank you, Chris De Burgh. What a fantastic guest on tonight's show. And now it's time for Saturday night's Song of the Week. And I will see you same time, same place next week.
Hi Hayley, thanks very much for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to be on. I hope that your viewers enjoy this next song. It's called Seneca Said. I was lucky enough to come across the writings of the Roman philosopher Seneca a number of years ago, and I was amazed how relevant his advice is to modern day living. So I tried to capture some of that in this song, so I hope you like it. Thank you.
I'm troubled by the night, I'm troubled by the day. I'm etched by the wind and I'm shaped by the rings of fortune. But Seneca said, don't you worry your head, 'cause gales can fade and ease the mind's distortion. High on the heights there's a glittering prize, the clarion call, the fresh rewards of plunder. But trapped like a fly in a terrible light, the journey down drags my spirit under. So find me a kill with a tranquil sea, a fire inside and the warmth of new adventure. 'Cause over the rise there's a new surprise, and gentle home raised my soul to venture. Come what may, there's a price to pay, I'm gonna vanish. Come what may, at the end of the day, I'm gonna vanish. No more time on the assembly line, I'm gonna vanish. No more crying at the back of the line, I'm gonna vanish. Seneca said, don't you worry your head, 'cause gales can fade and ease the mind's distortion. I broke like a beast that desires the leash. I led by the noose, I still find time to ponder. 'Cause a genuine smile on those weary miles, and friendships forged breaks those chains asunder. The breeze of a deep unease, tied to the wheel, my mind is free to wander. 'Cause the pearls of the sky can catch my eye, and jewels of the sea chase away the thunder.